Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy you're all here. And if you are new here stopping by, I am so happy you're joining me as well. In today's video, I just wanted to share with you a couple of tweaks that I have made to my skincare routine within the past 4 or 5 years that I think have really benefited me. I am going to put a picture up over here that was taken when I was 49 years old. And I am 55 right now. And I honestly think when I found this picture, I think my skin is looking better today than it did 6 years ago. Now, to be completely forthcoming with you, I do feel like I have a really good skincare routine that's working for me. But I am also using 2 at-home devices. I am a big believer in red light, and I've also been using radio frequency, the Even Skin Lumo, on my neck for the past like 8 months, I believe. So I do have a couple of at-home devices, but I have never had Botox. I have never had any kind of professional treatment, laser, anything done. So I do think skincare has a lot to do with the fact that I think my skin looks a lot better now than it did when it was 49. So I'm going to go ahead and just share with you a couple of tweaks that I've made that I think have really helped me, that maybe they will help you as well. All right, one of the most important things I think I did about 5 years ago was to start wearing a dedicated waterproof SPF every day instead of just a moisturizer that contains an SPF. I am the type of person that even before hot flashes, I tend to run just a little warm. And there were many days, especially in the summertime, where I could feel the beads of sweat on my forehead. And now looking back, I'm realizing that my sunscreen that was in my moisturizer was probably washed off or wore off very quickly in the day. And I feel like just switching to a dedicated sunscreen, and for me, a waterproof one, has made a really big difference in really protecting my skin from the sun's rays. So I was curious, I just wanted to do a little experiment, and I took my Holy Grail face sunscreen, the KissMeMommy UV Aqua Milk, which is waterproof, and I put a little dab of that on my arm. And then right next to it, I put a little dot of the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Daily Moisturizer that has an SPF, but it is not waterproof. And then I just spritzed my arm with water just to see if I could see what would happen. And even though I did not rub these sunscreens in, I was shocked to see that my waterproof sunscreen really adhered to my skin and was not going anywhere. And you can see that the Neutrogena face moisturizer was starting to wear away. So I know personally that with the hot flashes and just running hot in general, having that extra protection of having my sunscreen be waterproof has really made a big improvement in my skin. And I will also say that for me, it was really great finding a sunscreen that I could put all up near my eyes without any irritation, because that's another area that I think I had neglected for many, many years, was not putting sunscreen on my eyelids or really close up to my eyes. And now I can do that every day with that KissMeMommy UV Aqua Milk because it is not irritating in the least around eyes. So just those 2 tweaks that I made, making sure that my sunscreen was waterproof and also around my eyes, I think has made a huge improvement in my skin. Now, the next tweak that I have made is to not depend on the SPF in a makeup product for your sunscreen. And I used to think that my makeup with my SPF was all that I needed for sun protection. And then I started watching YouTube and following some dermatologists, and quickly realized that the amount of sunscreen that you need to apply to your face, which is recommended a 1/4 teaspoon, is a lot more than what we would normally apply for foundation. So just to drive home the point, I took my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye foundation and I squirted out what dermatologists recommend to get about a 1/4 teaspoon. And that is a line of sunscreen down your index finger and your middle finger. And that will equal about a 1/4 teaspoon of sunscreen. So as you can see, it is a lot more foundation than I would ever feel comfortable wearing. And I guess I really thought that most women my age knew that now, but I will tell you that I was out with some girlfriends just last week, and one of them was commenting on how she uses her SPF and her foundation for her SPF. And I had explained to her about the 1/4 teaspoon, and she was actually kind of shocked that it was that much that she would need to be applying. So I'm sure a lot of you have already realized this, and you're wearing a sunscreen under your makeup with an SPF. I just think of any SPF and a foundation as just kind of a little added protection. But if you are not wearing a sunscreen under your foundation with an SPF, I think adding it would be a really good tweak to make in your skincare routine, because then I think you're really going to get the protection you need from those sun's damaging rays. And if there's any doubt on how important sunscreen is, you can look at the twin studies that show the one twin that was good in putting sunscreen on and the one twin that wasn't. And the difference is just amazing on how much sun protection can really do for us as far as anti-aging is concerned. The next tweak that I have made in my skincare routine within the past 5 years is only adding one new product to my routine at a time. And it sounds pretty common sense, but I will tell you that there were many times when I was suffering a rosacea flare, which I can put a few pictures over here of what my skin looks like when I am in the middle of a rosacea flare. My face and cheeks get very red. They are hot to touch. They are burning. It's really uncomfortable. And there were so many times in the previous years when I would be suffering from this, and I would run to Walgreens and I would just be buying anything that said it was calming or redness reducing or for rosacea. And I would come back with a bag full of products and just start slathering and doing all the things with these new products. And it was obviously not the right way to go. I would usually end up irritating my skin, but then sometimes it would be getting better, but I would have no idea which product was helping. So that is why I really try to only add one new product at a time, so then I can judge, for one, if I'm having any kind of reaction to it, and two, if it's making any kind of difference in my skin. And along those lines, I will encourage you to take before and after pictures when you are starting a new product or a new device. Now I will show you, this is the picture that I took of my neck before I started doing red light treatments. And at that time that I took this picture, I did not have a YouTube channel. I had thought about maybe starting a YouTube channel for a long time, but I honestly didn't know if I was going to get the guts up to actually do it. I really didn't think I was. There was no plan in taking this picture that it would ever be used in a YouTube video. As it turns out, I did end up using it in one of my YouTube videos, but this picture here was taken just for me. And I will encourage you to do that for yourself when you're starting a new product or you're starting a new device. Just try to snap a couple of before pictures for yourself. And you know, it's hard, believe me, I know, to get the same type of angle and lighting, but just do the best you can, because what I have found is that sometimes the subtle changes that a device is making or a product is making is not something that you notice when you look in the mirror. But when you can clearly see one picture next to another, that is when you can see improvement sometimes. And I find it really helpful in saving money, because sometimes there's products that might cost a lot that you're using and you're wondering, are they really doing anything? Snap a before picture and then take an after and see if you can see any improvement. So I really swear by doing that, even if you don't have a YouTube channel. The next tweak that I made in my skincare routine, and I've been doing this consistently for the last probably 4 or 5 years, is that giving a product at least 3 months of use before I can say it's working or not. Years ago, I would see some serum that I thought looked neat. I'd try it. It might last a month, and then I would switch to something else, and I was not really being consistent with anything, so I really didn't get results using anything. But now what I do is if I start a new product, I will give it like 3 months. If I'm really serious and want to see results, I will give it 3 months of use and then make a determination after that 3 months whether it's really making any kind of difference. I think if you start using a product and you only use it for a few weeks, you really don't know if it's benefiting your skin or not. So that is what I recommend to do, is give it 3 months if you try a new product. I know it helps me because there are times when I use a product for 3 months and it's done nothing and I'm like, yay, I can save some money. I don't have to buy this again. Or I am shocked at the results that I can see. So I always make sure 3 months is my rule when I really want to test out a new skincare product. Now, the last tweak that I have made to my skincare routine, which I have been doing for, like I said, probably the last 4 or 5 years, was adding a double cleanse to my nighttime skincare routine. And I think when I did that, my skin improved a lot, because I don't think I realized that I was not really removing all of the makeup every night before bed, which I thought I was. I did kind of a little experiment where I used a cleanser that I'm using now, a Bioderma cleanser that I really like, and I just put that on without doing my Clinique Take the Day Off cleansing balm beforehand, and just wanted to see if I was removing all of my makeup. So I washed my face with the Bioderma cleanser, and then after I was done washing my face, I took some micellar water on a cotton pad and ran that over my skin. And as you can see, there was still quite a bit of makeup left on my skin. So I really swear by a double cleanse, especially if you are wearing waterproof sunscreen, and especially if you are wearing any kind of foundation that has good coverage. I think you really want to get that off of your skin every night, because then any of the products that you're spending money on for anti-aging can actually get into your skin and do what you want them to do when they're not being blocked by dirt and makeup. Okay, friends, so that is it. Those are my few tweaks that I have made to my skincare routine that I really think have helped me, and I hope that this was interesting and helpful to you. And as always, if you've got any tips that you want to share with all of us, I would love for you to leave those in the comments. But before I sign off, I do want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy days to watch my videos. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Bye.